morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. Thank you very much for joining me. Today's reading is going to be, are they leading you on? You've got three choices as per usual. You've got the boat for number 1, you've got the red flower for number 2, or you've got the seagull for number 3. So if you're going to take your choice, then we'll get stuck in.
La música de Harry Frog.
Okay, pile number 1. I'm going to be totally honest with everybody here. Yes, last night I came in to do a reading, which was the same reading, and I just felt that it didn't go well, or that the messages weren't particularly uplifting. And today has a similar feeling of it being difficult to be together. So I'm just going to have to go with it, because there's no point in doing, there's obviously something that feels like it needs to come through here. Your person comes across as, my first thoughts when I put the cards out were fun guy, fun girl, not as in mushroom, but somebody who's enjoys life, somebody who's got a big nature and likes to display it. You've got the Page of Wands here next to the Fortune card. So this person is happy-go-lucky, but not laid back. It's like happy-go-lucky and knows when things are going their way and takes advantage of it. Somebody who enjoys being who they are, enjoys, gets up with a bit of spring in their step every morning. The Page of Wands tallies along with that, and this is more internally what's going on with them. The Page of Wands has a feeling of not understanding your connection, but still giving you a taste of who they are. Because it's like fire, and then you're downsizing it to a little bit to the Page of Wands. So they're showing you who they are, but they're also trying to feel their way through this connection. You've got Ceres here as well. So that sometimes makes me think of a Cancerian feeling of somebody who possibly has got internal qualities that can be easily, that are sensitive, I suppose. Somebody who likes connections, somebody who, Ceres, likes the thought of settling down, likes the thought of nurturing, likes the thought of having children, likes the thought of connections that to have and to hold in some way. So to me, it feels like a really nice conversation and person. That was the word I was thinking of, not comparison. Concoction. Con something, not con air. It's a really nice combination of somebody who has spirit, but is also sensitive enough to know when to display, when to hold back, when to give, when to just generally observe. So your person's doing that with you at the moment. Now down here you've got how they normally are in love relationships here, which is going to lead me on to, are they leading you on? So their normal disposition is what I'm looking at here. You've got the King of Cups, you've got the World, you've got the Queen of Cups. It's basically mirroring their personality. So this person in love relationships doesn't have a lot to hide. This person's kind. This person's mature with regards to how they deal with their emotions. There's a feeling here as well that they're equal. They give and they take and they expect equality in a relationship. This isn't somebody who's coming, it's going to come out in a minute, I bet. It's coming across as an Emperor card, where sometimes it's a little bit powerful, especially if you're more submissive. This is a feeling of somebody who smiles, is gentle and receptive, and likes to give, likes people to feel loved, likes to feel loved themselves, likes to feel safe in some way, but not enough to restrict themselves. Somebody who likes comfort, somebody who likes to care for people, somebody who likes to cook, somebody who likes to see a smile on your face, somebody who likes to sit next to you in the cinema, somebody who likes to hold hands, somebody who likes to grow old with somebody else. But the World card here has got a feeling that, I don't know. To be totally honest, I don't know. The World card here with the Temperance, to me they're big cards to have in the centre. So to me, I'm going to take that because it's with the Temperance as somebody who's quite complete in themselves. There's balance and there's completion here. So, you know, it's almost like they may be quite old. I don't know what I mean by quite old, or they could be an old soul in some way if they're young, that they are completing themselves. They don't really need anything outside themselves. They shine from within. There's a balance there. They may have had an upbringing that was either easygoing or that they were loved very much, and they feel secure in themselves. So what I'm getting at the moment is this person doesn't hide anything. This person's got what feels like a beautiful personality. You know, somebody who is strong and caring and fun. And somebody who doesn't look outside themselves for stimulation, or there's not a strong need. And sometimes strong need feels sexy, but a lot of the time it takes and can make the relationship feel unstable, which is okay at the beginning, but you don't want that carrying on all the way through. Now, how are they with you? There's also a feeling here that actually, before I get on to that your person may be frisky in some way. You've got the Dancer card here, and once again you've got the Prince of Wands. So this may be somebody who plays with their sexuality, or plays, which is basically playing with life, isn't it? It's playing with their energy, and a little bit flirty, a little bit fun. Somebody who ends up at the end of the night dancing on the podium, or dancing on the stage, or, you know, joking around with their friends, and they've got that little bit of verve in them that makes life worth living. So your person is coming across really nice. So this is what I was talking about yesterday when I stopped the readings. I did 3 readings. I must have been here for, 3 sets for about an hour. And then I got back last night and I thought, well, that needs to be in some way. You've got to have something to hold on to. But if I'm getting similar messages again, I think there's something in this that might help. This is the way I'm looking at it anyway. Now, you can see these cards here. Let me put this one at the top because it's Major Arcana, okay? With regards to their feelings for you, there's a feeling of trying to read you. There's a feeling of the jump between the Fortune and the Page of Wands, which you've got twice, has got to be important. It feels like they want to use their more feminine qualities to understand you before they move forward, is what it feels like here. And there's a feeling here of blockages, because I put this card down, which every set will have, for blockages. So you've got the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands is a heavy blockage. It's like swimming through mud. So to me, I feel that this person can't get to you. And when I'm looking at these cards here, you may have a partner, and they may have what I feel could be respect for that partner, or you may have, and somehow they've perceived this, turned them down in the past. Why the pain? But it looks like pain, their feelings for you. Okay. It's really funny though, because as soon as I get the Lovers card there with the people clinging on to each other, I go to the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, and then you've got here the High Priestess. This person's looking for the Ceres, the water qualities in you. They're looking for the your caring qualities, your compassion, that look in your eye that looks like you're empathic, or that you are, and I don't mean that. So when you say empath nowadays, everybody starts thinking narcissist. You know, they're looking. This doesn't feel like that. Your person feels beautiful. They're looking at those bits inside you that are soft and caring and receptive and sweet and understanding. Oh my Lord, why the Lovers then? This is going the same path as yesterday's reading. Honest to God, yesterday I was sat here and every card I pulled out went down another story. So why have you got the Lovers? If you've got 2 people here together, this person's balanced. They're looking for, they're looking for the other half of themselves with regards to water, but they don't need it. This person is letting everything flow towards them. Why the Lovers? Why would the Lovers cause pain? The Lover's card with the Ten of Wands. Okay, I'm just going to say things off the top of my head, even if they sound silly. There's a feeling here that this person may, with regards to sex, have some problems that they don't feel very confident with. I'm laughing at it because my first thought with that was pacemaker, but I'm going to keep that one to myself. There's a feeling here that they, oh my gosh, these readings are the same. I'm going to take my top off to this. Excuse my dangling microphone. It's getting warm and I need to think. Okay, I'm going to talk you through it here. You've got somebody who's looking at you and trying to understand where you're coming from. This person's very receptive and perceptive, so they're trying to understand your emotions to see whether they match theirs. You've got here somebody who feels that sometime in the past, or maybe even now, feels like somebody's got a one-up in this situation. And it feels like you've got two work cards and heartache. So it's hard work to get to you, and they're afraid probably of losing control, possibly, because the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, you know, watery people, I'm thinking more Cancer here than Pisces and Scorpio. So Cancer and Scorpio, they give softly, they give in a very strong, silent way, and there's a deep fear of it not being given back. So this person is almost eyes on stalks, wondering whether they're going to get back. And so there's pain here and it feels like it's hard. So, okay, if there's this card here for blockages, if there's something in between the pair of you that feels like they can't get to you and you're still in this, well, I'm attracted to you, so I'm expecting something back. Your person's almost accepted that they're not going to give out to you because they will have fear of, or it's got nowhere to go. And sometimes when you're attracted to people, you forget that. There's a possibility. Why heavy? They are afraid that if they offered something to you, then it may not go anywhere, that you couldn't take it anywhere. And that weighs heavy on them. So this to me makes me think that this needs to be realistic. This person may fantasize a lot about you. This person may think a lot about you. This person thinks of, it doesn't feel like sexy fantasies. It feels like somebody who wants to sit in a car in the rain with you and look at the beach. That type of feeling. Or somebody who wants to get Chinese and settle in with a meal and, yeah, and I'm not cooking, can you tell? And wants to watch TV with you and laugh with you. And the fear has got something to do with control, something to do with having to work to make this a intimate relationship. So, okay, let's sum it up and then let's answer the question. So you've got somebody here who's easygoing, somebody who's probably much loved by lots of different people. This person's kind, this person's caring, this person's soft-hearted. They're looking for somebody who's reflecting the softer parts of themselves. So my mind is automatically thinking that the feminine qualities in this person, whether it's male or female, the bits that they want to fulfill and pull towards them would be in possibly water signs, something that... or maybe Libra, that type of feeling here. They're quite complete in themselves. They don't really feel that they need somebody else to fulfill them, although naturally, because we do it anyway, we look out and we're open to people who have those qualities that make us feel complete, but they're not desperate for it. They're more likely to expect somebody to come towards them than for them to go out searching for it. Not through laziness, just through basically being quite satisfied, which is good. Then you've got feelings here of their actions. You've got somebody who, these two are like going against each other. This one's travelling this way, this one's looking this way and blocking it, but you've still got between the pair of you a connection where it feels like King of Cups, Queen of Cups, that's equal. This person's incredibly inquisitive about you and your nature and how you fit in with their nature. it's like somebody who asks about you when you're not there, or somebody who noticed something very subtle about you and likes it and thinks, well, that's my type of person. There's a lot of what I would feel subtleties going on in this relationship. This isn't like somebody that, you know, tumbles in and declares undying love or shouts at you. You're in school and somebody shouts at you across the playground. I don't remember this myself, but I fancy you, you know, that's how you're hot, that type of thing. This is far more subtle. This is somebody who you may already know, because there's a strong pull here that feels emotional. As in, you may know, as in gone out with. You may, you know, maybe an ex-partner is probably what I'm thinking here. Because the connection between the pair of you is very strong. The similarities between the pair of you is strong. And it must be these water qualities. Offering cups to each other. King of cups, queen of cups, in between completion. The Ceres, their card there. So this is somebody who identifies that you are their ideal type of person. And they're watching and they're waiting for you to... I'm thinking here for you to open up a little bit more, because this person doesn't feel like they're coming towards you. So as far as leading you on, no, they're not leading you on. They're sitting in it. They're sitting and waiting and seeing, which may be confusing for you, because you may be getting this energy of somebody who's quite assertive, somebody who grabs life and runs with it and likes things to be fun and is an opportunist in some way. But when it comes to relationships, your persons are more gentle, less pushy. And that's what they're looking for in you. They're looking for somebody who lets things develop. But there's fear here, rejection as well. With these cards here, there's fear here. Okay, there's also a feeling here of fear of having to put a lot of effort in. And I don't know whether that has got something to do with this person's older, or whether they've had a relationship in the past where they've had to do all the work. If this person's older, it's like they half expect relationships to grow with them. It's like when you're young, you put the effort in, even when you're quite sure this person isn't your person, and you just do it because you've got the energy for it. It's like, yeah, this is going to be fun, whatever. And most of the time as it goes down the track, you separate a bit because you knew at the beginning that it may not work. This person, if they're older, can see that before it happens and has done it before and is like, okay, let's just let this develop to make sure that this person is who I think they are. So it's a slow mover. It's a slow mover, not through steadiness, but more through not being desperate. And I don't mean that as an insult to you. It's more of a feeling of maturity, of enjoying it. And it's like having like a slow cigar. I don't smoke cigars, but you know when you see those old films, not Columbo, when they're there and they look like they're really enjoying something that takes a long time. This person's waiting for this to develop. They're not leading you on. You may think that because there's different parts in their personality. But what this person's looking for in a partner is slower moving, softer, more emotional, more romantic. But you may not get that. You may get somebody who, when you see out, is quite loud and playful. They're not going to blockages, heartache, thinking somebody's going to get one up. This person isn't going to put a huge amount of effort into this, not because they're not attracted to you or not because they don't think you're worth it, sort of crin, but more a case of that's just not what they do. And I know lots of people like this. And a lot of older people like this. If you're young, your person's laid back. They're very, very easygoing. They feel secure in themselves. So they're not mucking about with you. They're just waiting for things to flow naturally. If your person's older, this could account for possibly relationships where they've pushed and they just don't do that anymore. Which does happen, I think, when you get older. You know, when you're younger, you know, life's fantastic. Life's fresh and you're full of everything and you push even though it falls and it feels great, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're young. But as you're older, it's more a case of it's not to become embittered in any way. It's more a case of let the good things flow towards you. You know, don't try so hard, because it's not to being bruised or being hurt by past events more so, and this could be the case to be honest, but more a case of if it's meant to be, it's meant to be type of feeling. Put yourself out there, do your best, and if it's meant to be, it will come towards you. So no, I'm going to start winding this up now because I feel like I've been talking ages. This person is not playing with you. They are happy, incredibly interested in you, feel that you are the other half of them and they don't need it. There's a feeling here that they're not going to push. There's a blockage here. It's uphill struggle to get to you, and what they're going to do is wait for the timing, wait for the right moment, and this person won't play games with you. This person will shine in front of you. If you meet each other when you're together, it feels like they're going to be open, they're going to be easygoing with you. Your person's laid back. The person is laid back regardless of whether they're 16 or 60. They just don't need other people the same way that some other people do, and that is a real sexy place to be, to not need but still be open. So let me get some advice for you. Okay, my advice to you is to almost replicate it. It's a case of don't give too much, but the Empress card at the end, because you've got the Seven of Wands here, you've got the Ten of Swords here. This is like the same spreads as last night. I'm thinking, well, flipping heck. And then you've got here the Empress card. So to me, it's a case of not play them at their own game, but be the same vibration. You don't need it, but in some way you've just got to shine. And that is probably with the way that they have their outlook on life. You're reflecting back to them who they really are, which is basically everything. Every relationship that we go into, that is it. And the Empress card here is beauty and multiplying and giving and shining and being, you know, incredibly attractive, exactly how you are, but just amping it up a bit. Don't change anything about you, just reveal it more with the Empress card there. So, no games being played here, no leading you on, just waiting for you to come back at them with the same vibration. No pushing, no shoving, just shining. Okay, pile number 3, I'm going to leave that there. If you do like the readings, I nearly effed then. I was going to say that I am the worst salesperson, and I hear people on YouTube going, don't forget to slam this and do this, and I just can't do it. I just can't. But if you do like the readings, please hit the subscribe button. Please give it a thumbs up. Comment, because that's my favourite, and check out Patreon if you're interested. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Okay, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you. Hi, pile number 2. I have got your pile out already. The reason being I thought I was going to look at it, but I've just done it slowly this time, to be honest. I did once, well, about 2 years ago when I was watching tarot readings, there was a lady from north, in the north of England, and she used to do tarot readings, and people used to accuse her of picking the cards. To which she was like, don't do that. I can't imagine doing that, because I haven't done that, honestly, because I think that would be far more complicated to actually go through all your piles and pick out cards that felt right. And there's not a story in it then, is there? In which the story, I think, is the way that we can start questioning ourselves and understanding, you know, where we sit, whether this bit resonates, whether it doesn't resonate. And they're group readings, so not all of it will, but it may give you ideas and things may click in, and it makes you become more aware of, you know, who you are, where you want to be, where this person is coming from. Sometimes things just do that, don't they? Which I think is the most important thing about tarot, is to make us more aware of ourselves. and how we react with, how we interact with people and how people interact with us. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so is this person leading you on? Let me go through their personality from what I can see here, and whether whether they have those qualities to do that. Sorry, I can't speak. They're coming across as the Ten of Earth and the Queen of Pentacles. So with these two earthy cards, your person could have heavy Taurus and Virgo or Capricorn in there, maybe all three, to be honest, with these two cards. This is somebody who's dedicated to their work, somebody who, when they make a promise, they keep it. This person isn't easily jiggled. They're not somebody who overreacts or somebody who's very spontaneous. It's just somebody who just is. Solid, controlled, slow moving, very possibly stubborn. If a Virgo, they could be quite humble. This has more of a Taurus feel about it. I don't know why. But, you know, to be honest, when when you're talking about cards and you're thinking about the energy, you can feel it inside you, can't you? And when I'm talking about earth cards, my whole energy comes up from my chest, where it normally is, and down to the bottom half of my body. And I'm not even saying grounding, but more the bottom half of my trunk. No, I haven't, I'm not an elephant, but that type of feeling. And so when you've got that feeling there, it's somebody who is not easily swayed by other people's opinions or other people's decisions, or when they're in an argument, they don't fly off the handle. They're just slow and they're steady and they state their point. And when they love, and it feels as if it's once it's stated, it's there. Once they've made that decision, which they're slow to getting to that decision, but once they've made it, you know, you're the one. You've got Chiron next to this, so somewhere along the line, your person has or is carrying around with them some hurt or some injury in some way, and I haven't looked at the rest of the cards to find out why. So how, with that energy of being earth, how could they possibly be, without looking at the rest of the cards, I'm actually looking at the wall, carry around hurt? To be honest, with earth cards, this is no insult to earth people at all, because it would be somebody who's totally on the other side of that energy that would look like this, look at people like this. But I wonder, from what I have seen, whether earth people tend to feel that they're not as wild or spontaneous or quick-witted or funny or as energetic, or as just, you know, don't have that sort of immediate impact on people. So I don't know if they worry about this because, you know, it may not be so Virgo. They just don't think, they could think that they're boring at times. But if you are next to somebody who is earth or water, and you have earth and water inside you, that click is spontaneous, and, you know, it just is, you just feel smoothed out by that type of person. Spontaneous is contradicting itself, isn't it? But you just feel at ease and you know it feels right. But your person may have an issue with their earth energy. I'm just saying that because they're close to each other. But let me keep going, so there may be more to it. How does this person love? They love the Four of Swords. They love lazily but passionately. So this has got a Taurus feeling. And Taurus being earth and being very feminine. I mean, I think I always think earthy cards are underestimated, earthy people underestimated with regards to their love nature, that they, you know, that's very carnal in some way. There's something very animalistic because it's just very natural to them. You get people with lots of air inside them, and sex and love is a game for play, and, you know, even with not less so with fire, it's a game to play. It's funny and it's something to laugh at and to talk about, and it's stimulating and it gets them really heightened, but they could talk about it and not do it so much that the fact that the person's gone. With earth cards here, it's like this, they've got an intent, it's leading up to something. If they're going to put their thoughts in it, they're going to put their effort into something. They don't care how long it takes, but they're going to get there. And this person, the Ace of Wands, is quite a passionate person. Somebody who's not shy of their body or not afraid to express themselves physically. Is quite a sexual person, but doesn't talk about it afterwards. It's like, well, that's natural, done and dusted. What's next? Let's go polish the brass. No, that's rude, but put something like that. I don't know I don't know what you earthy people get up to. This is where the Chiron must come in, because you've got the Knight of Swords. Why does your person split? That makes no sense, but it does. Somebody who's a strong lover, somebody who has intent and moves towards it and then consummates whatever their pull is with, I'm going to say gusto here, steady gusto. Taurus people fascinate me. I've said in readings, I used to talk more about more personal things in readings when I had, well, when I was during lockdown really, and I used to sit next to this Taurus woman in work, and I used to sit there with next to a Sagittarius girl and a Sagittarius boy, and basically we're just like talking, doing absolutely nothing, a lot of laughing, lots of cup of coffee. And the Taurus girl, there was something very smooth and measured and beautiful about her, and when everything went to pot, when me and the Sagittarius people were getting screwed up in some way or getting told off for something, we would all like gravitate towards it. It's like, what do we do now? Please tell us, help us, help us. And she would just do it, and she was so patient and truly beautiful, truly a beautiful, calm, loving, measured, I can't think of the words. It's just I don't know, admirable. So why does your person act like the Knight of Swords here? And this card is different from others because under the Chiron as well, your person splits, and that doesn't relate to the rest of their energy. There's a hiccup in their nature, I think, here. Time to themselves. Falling in love is painful. Oh yeah, okay, don't know. Oh yeah, okay, I have no idea. This person feels like they take themselves off on their own. It has an image of somebody who almost, and I'm going to give you another story here. My husband, when we met when we were kids, we used to have a friend who was very spontaneous. He had a Capricorn moon, actually. No, he was Capricorn, had Aquarius moon. And when he fell in love deeply. And most of our meetings, which I used to sit there and watch and absolutely love it, he'd always get himself into a state over, this is not nasty, but honestly, get himself into a state because he'd fallen in love with somebody. And he used to say to my husband at the time, when they were like 17, and whisper to him, I've met this girl, she's the one. And it was a really big secret. And I don't know, it was very intense and very sort of romantic in some way. And then it would always end up him in his car, which cars were amusing at that time because not many people were driving because we were still kids. He would split and razz off and run off into some dramatic sunset, I don't know, wailing. And it was just fantastic. Absolutely difficult for him, but it was just fun. That sounds really cruel, doesn't it? But it was, what's he done now? Where is he? And I don't know if he's calmed down. I haven't seen him for quite a while, but this feels like this. It feels like somebody that loves deeply, but then has a bit of Mars-Jupiter, Mars-Uranus, where they split and they need time to themselves. So this person may take themselves off into the woods or may take themselves off on that sunset drive when they're... somebody's just been talking to me this morning about dismissive avoidant. Thank you very much for that. It could be that. It could be the harder they fall, the quicker it is for them to split with these cards here. Because there's obviously attraction. They can see it. They're moving towards it. And it's really steady. And you think that they're calm and you think that they're normal. Then all of a sudden they're gone. And you think, well, that doesn't go with that other part of their personality. Anyway, moving on. That's what I've got there. With regard to their feelings towards you, do you know when I was talking about the guy with the Aquarius moon that used to razz off in his car? This person's bit, doesn't likes to, oh my God, likes to be top cat, is what I'm thinking here with these cards here. I think that they are attracted to you because of your gentle qualities, because of your softness, because of your beauty, because that you're laid back and you're at ease with yourself, and because you're compassionate, and because you've got that look in your eye that you can read them. There's also a feeling that they like the fact that you don't push too much. They like the fact that you're relaxed because it goes with their nature here. But there's a fear here of what, to me, with this Chiron, this Knight of Swords, that they had a dominant mother possibly. And if there's any inkling of push at all, then they're off. Doesn't have to be a dominant mother. I've got another story here that relate to this. And my husband hasn't got, his mother's beautiful, my husband's mum, really nice lady. Sagittarius lady fell in love with my husband before we went out. So, really young. He was driving and he used to come down to where I live. I didn't know him at this time. And Sagittarius lady, being, Sagittarius, was like, straight, I'm going to the village to go and meet him. He's arrived. And soon as he found that out, and I've got an Aries friend as well that does this, he'd finished. I've got an Aries friend who travelled down to visit some guy that she was half seeing really, and he'd gone off with his mates onto a ski resort in Italy, and she'd gone from Czech Republic down to Italy to see him, and surprise, that was the end of it. This has got this feeling here that this person is drawn to you for your softness and your ability to sit and wait, because that's what they find sexy. They find the water inside you sexy. I think that sounds weird, doesn't it? They find you're more receptive, more embracing, and being parts of you attractive. Because that's what they're like. And if there's any push here, then they bolt. For all those reasons I've just talked about and related to with friends. There's a feeling here of somebody that has like a very soulful feeling of somebody that is drawn to you and doesn't really question spirituality or connections or vibrations or why we're pulled to people, but still lives it. They know it, they feel it, they're just not interested in that type of thing. They dream about you. That's where the blockage is. This person's attraction to you is quite deep and exactly the type of attraction that they like. Not full on, not in the face, not let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. It's like an understanding that almost flows underneath this one. And they spend a lot of time on their own, I guess, here. And that's not an insult. Okay, I'm just picking through this and I'm trying to understand it before I start summarising it here. Now, the question is, are they leading you on? I'm getting there. You've got the Fool card here and you've got the Six of Wands here with the King of Swords. And this is the action sort of what they're going to do about it, because I always put these close together because they follow here. So this is somebody who's going to move towards you and is quite confident about the fact that you belong together, or quite confident about the fact that how you both fit into this relationship. There is always going to be a fear that if you may not like this, depends on your personality, if you in somehow make demands on them, then you will find them going into the hermit mode and stepping back. This is somebody who wants equality. They're not interested in anybody. They're not interested in a prima donna. I'm not saying you are that, but this is maybe your person has experienced this in childhood with their mum, with a sister, with a past girlfriend. And as soon as that happens, it will be like gone. This must be the Chiron feeling here. They want somebody who's secure and gentle and open and not needing anything. That is the type of thing that they fantasize about. It's like moving through life in a way that, when you get images in your head, it's like somebody who's bent down after they come home from work, or when the rest of the family come in and they bend down and they hug the dog and they hug you and they kiss you, and inside them you can't even see it, but the little heart is beating. This is what I want. This isn't somebody who wants to throw themselves out of planes and travel around the world and kiss thousands of men or thousands of women. This is just somebody who wants stability and wants to recognise that you are on the same sort of vibration as them. So with regards to coming towards you and not playing with you, this has got a very strong feeling this person isn't leading you on, and you're going to get more action in the future. This person feels like they're going to take a brave step forward. It may be slow moving, but it's going to be some sort of it's going to feel quite brave, to be honest. And it's going to be straight, and it's going to be what they say is what they mean. This person doesn't play, so this person is not leading you on. This person is slow moving, and if you are earthy or there's water in there, this will be is your cup of tea, I would guess here. There is that hiccup of the Chiron in this, but your person's not playing around with you. They just don't. It's a bit like pile number one. They're just not that type. You know, when you fall for somebody and you want things to move and you want displays of attraction, you know, and we want a little bit of drama to keep it alive, a little bit of passion to feel like it's worth investing. And this person is like, okay, yeah, I feel it, but I don't need to show you. Which I think is quite common with a lot of relationships. It's really difficult to explain. And I can only explain people that I know. It feels like me asking my husband, why are you so grumpy? And he's like, what do you mean I'm not? And we do this all day. What's the matter with you? Why are you so grumpy? Why you got that face on for? And he's like, well, I'm not. It just is. That's what I'm just doing. What I'm doing. What you're talking about. I'm like, okay, what's the matter? And I'm looking at him, and he just has that face. And people in my daughter's school say that she's got the same face. They don't give anything away. They just have what I guess is a very stoic, chewing wasps expression. And when we used to go out clubbing when we were kids, people used to come up to him and think he was aggressive. He's just got that Bert and Ernie eyeliner, that straight long eyebrow that looks like he's grumpy. Your person may have these qualities. They're not. I feel like I'm going on too much here. Are they leading you on? No, they are not leading you on. They think you're similar to them. They don't want somebody who's going to push on them because that would turn them off. They dream about you. They want to be with you. You're going to get more of this relationship, more to see more of them if you like this type of style, and they're going to tell you the truth. This person will not lie to you. This person is straight up, as far as I can see. And they think that you are similar. This person may still have that Aquarius feeling of needing to retract. There's a strong Virgo feeling in this now. I've put the Hermit card out. I didn't put that out. I'd put it out at the beginning. But there's a strong Virgo feel here as well. There's somebody that doesn't need drama. You know, they just want it as it is. Okay, pile number 2. They are not leading you on. That's just their nature. They just move slowly. I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much for joining me. If you like the readings, please consider looking at Patreon. Please comment. I love your comments. I don't get to reply to all of them all the time, but I do try really hard, and I really find it interesting, as long as they're not really disgusting or rude. But I do enjoy the comments. Thank you very much. And thumbs up if you like it. Thank you. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. This has got a strong feeling about it that your person has tall orders, to be honest. They expect a lot in relationships, not in a negative way, but it's almost a case of that it'd be very difficult for anybody to measure up to their expectations. I know the question is, are they leading you on? But I'm just going to go through their personality, their love nature, what they're feeling for you, but not before I've changed the battery. I'm just going to change the battery before I do that. Sorry, I've just realised. And then what the blockages are and what you're going to receive, and whether you think they're leading you on or not, or whether I think they're leading you on or not. You probably get to it as we go through it. Just hold on a sec. I'm just going to change my battery. Okay, I'm back. They're coming out, I'm just putting my microphone on, the 9 of water and the 5 of cups, and then you've got the full moon there. So your person has, to me, it feels like strong emotional reactions. They fall in love easily. I was going to say quickly then, but I don't know if it's quickly is the word I was looking for. They expect, it's like a Pisces feeling of expecting love to be beautiful, expecting life to open up to them when they fall for somebody. There's a feeling here that doesn't always run that way, but they still have expectations, and that's basically the battery that they run on, an emotional battery. You've got here the King of Wands, with regards to their normal love nature, and with next to Judgment. So this is somebody who loves big time, and can easily get hurt. To me, it feels like it does have a Pisces feeling, maybe a Cancer feeling here. So to be honest, even a Scorpio feeling, which covers all the water signs. And then with the Judgment card, it's like all or nothing in some ways. I'm giving to you emotionally. I once had, this is like lots of stories in this one. I once had a boyfriend in primary school who was Pisces boy. And I love this. I haven't had this since primary school, I assure you. And he used to work in, and I still keep in touch with him. He's still lovely. He used to live by the beach anyway. We used to sit there in primary school, the pair of us. We weren't the brightest buttons by any, we used to sit and look at the sea. We just like daydreaming, everybody else has got their hand up. And he decided that he'd fallen for me, as you do at 10 years old. And his dad said that he just didn't sleep. He just had a week of, they were taking the mickey out of him, saying that he was love lost and falling in love. And what's the term when you basically, there's a term when you're not love hungry, I don't know. Anyway, he didn't sleep. When he used to bring me these cuddly toys, he used to own his shop and bring me cuddly toys, 2 hugging monkeys into school. And this is your person. Your person falls big time when they have their whole heart is basically to them on show, and they feel vulnerable. They're looking for a connection that is soulful, I would say here, but there's anxiety here. There's anxiety. They know, they tend to understand their nature, and they know that somewhere down the line it's going to be painful. So this isn't somebody who holds back but knows that it's coming somewhere or other. It's going to come, it's going to get them, it's going to bite their tail some way along the line of any relationship here. With regards to their feelings towards you, you've got somebody who, you may not be together at the moment. Hold on. Your person is trying to almost, it's got to be protect themselves. Because you've got the Judgment card here, so it feels like they like to have that soulful connection, as I've just said. I haven't looked at these yet. And then you've got here the blockage, which is the karmic release. It's like they feel that there's a connection that they can't explain, and it feels really strong. And they're letting that slow grow. It's like, you're going to say slow-mo then. I don't even know what that means. Oh, yes, I do, because my son says it when he walks around the kitchen doing slow motion things. Slow motion. This has got a feeling that he's allowing this, which is against his nature, to develop in a way that he gives you independence. He has independence, lets it develop, because he doesn't want to, he's not going to reveal too much too soon, because you've got the Hangman here as well over the Death card. There's fear here of him expressing his true nature to you, or her expressing their true nature to you, and it not being accepted, I suppose, here. Yes. So their actions towards you are going to be a lot cooler than their actual feelings towards you. There's somebody who's not really sure where they stand with regards to whether you fit into this relationship with regards to your feelings. What do you think about them? What do you feel towards them? But it feels as if this person, once they get your trust, or once they feel trust, is going to be far more open and far more passionate with you, far more giving with regards to what they are feeling. There, this is the quickest pile yet. So are they leading you on, was the actual question. No, complete opposite, I would think, from this pile here. It's like they feel it far stronger than they're showing, just because they're letting it grow, because I'm going to try to think of another thing to rhyme. They're showing growing. because they know their nature. This person understands themselves quite well, I think. They know that they fall in love. They know that they're sentimental. They know that they're soft. They know that they're easily hurt. This person has soulful connections, has decided that there is a big, a strong feeling that you've either been together before, or the ease of the relationship, or the ease of the connection, or the recognition of each other is different from other relationships. And it causes them anxiety. So what they're doing is they're not trying to get too much up in their head. They're trying to continue the relationship in a way that watery people would find difficult. Not so much Scorpio, that is being very Queen of Swords. They don't understand really what they're meant to do next. So the Queen of Swords is how they've decided to act with you, and that is to come across as competent and cool and controlled. But what you're going to get, I think, this feels like it's going to develop because this person feels that there's a connection here. So they're not leading you on, they're just waiting for that to get to a point where they think they can reveal more with the Erosi card, they always call this one, the more passionate, more open feeling here, when the relationship is at a point that they're not going to get tripped up or hurt. So they're watching, they're waiting. You may have been together and already split up, or there may have been a past experience where it was all going, all flowing, and then you've both pulled back, or there's distance between the pair of you, the Death card and the Hangman. So they're trying to see what's going to happen next without, once again, putting themselves on the line here, the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. There's distance here. These are cool grower cards. Your person isn't cool. They're not cool. They are quite emotionally driven. Their emotions run, I was going to say hot then, but they run warm and smooth and compassionate. And I'm not going to say control because I don't know. Because you've got the Nine of Water here that's not really controlled. That's quite self-indulgent. And you've got the King of Cups here who does it in a very mature way. I think they know themselves is what I'm trying to say here. So are they leading you on? No, they are waiting. They're playing the waiting game. They're playing the way, it's like waiting for a film to develop. They're going to see the picture once it's gone into the dark room and, and developed. And this person's prepared to wait. Not because they're like slow moving naturally. It's just because there's a lot at stake here with these, what feels like karmic cards. And in the meantime, they are trying to suss you out even more. This person probably would make me the type of person who would be looking online to find out more about you. Because there's interest here, but there's fear that they're going to reveal their cards too early. And you're going to be like, oh. Especially if you're more fiery, or if you're... All these spreads have been for couples, or for the other partner is like earthy or watery today. Sometimes you get fire ones. If you're fiery, there will be some sort of reluctance. It's not saying they haven't got fire in them, but there'll be some sort of reluctance with expressing themselves in case you say, oh, hold on, that's too much. Or you're too emotional, or, what you're talking about type of feeling. Or if you're too much air and they're trying to be the Queen of Swords with you. So, okay, let's start summing this up. Are they leading you on? No, they're not leading you on. They are just trying to formulate a way of advancing with regards to the personality that they have got already. Oh my gosh, the dog's going to attack the postman. What are you going to get is slow development, I think. With you will be given a lot of room, but this person feels that there's a connection between the pair of you that is too big to actually run anywhere else. They're not in fear of losing you because they think you feel the connection too. You're going to get a very straight-laced relationship, but it will develop, I think, in the future into more expressions of fun and passion, rather than just soulful yearning. So your person isn't leading you on. They are just waiting for, as I said, for that film to develop. That's what it feels like. It feels like, and the film I think is quite a nice analogy, if I have to say so myself, because it has a timeline on it. You know, like one of those old films that you get. It's like they can see the beginning, they can see the end, and they're just waiting to be able to see the picture. And then you're going to get more out of them, which will be different part of their personality. There's a little bit more wilder because they're just waiting. This isn't somebody who is going to dive all in at the beginning. But within their heart, they have. Okay, so definitely not leading you on pile number 3. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that makes sense. If you do like the readings, please consider looking at Patreon and please comment because I do love the comments. Thank you very much. Oh, thumbs up. What else is it? Yeah, I think that's it. Bye. I'm actually stretching as I'm sounding strange. Thank you. Bye-bye.